It will be impossible to convince you otherwise. Atta is still alive. And all so-called 9/11 hijackers were secular Muslims. Suicide is a major sin in Islam, and blowing yourself is not a war, since you are committing two major sins. Suicide plus killing civilians. War in Islam has rules, and one of its rules is not to harm kids, women, elderly, animals, and plants. Obviously, you chose to believe what is convenient for your propaganda. The hijackers weren't real Muslims, so they were just suicidal young Arab men who killed themselves for George Bush or whomever, to later make George Bush out to be a liar when he'd say Islam was a peaceful religion. But how do you know? Most likely, yes. How do I know? To begin with, I don't believe in most what Fox and CNN or most media say, unlike you. That's a start. Of course, it is convenient for Islam haters and their agenda, but you know, it's a strategy that all wars that kill thousands every year done by the West is labeled as peace wars. How can it be? Let's not get into that, shall we? Then why did you bring up 9/11? I brought up 9/11. You either have short-term memory or don't know what you are saying, or are simply a liar. Here is a quote of your comment to me starting the 9/11 discussion by mentioning the 19 hijackers. And strange, I thought for sure that you brought up 9/11 first. I brought up 9/11, you did. Go read back a few comments and see for yourself. The only thing I brought up was Quran 9:1-5 and Quran 9:29 with Nelly Akbar. Do those comments in the Quran make you think of 9/11? If so, how come? By reading the comments, anyone can notice that you say something, but you remove it. It's so your comments that started talking about Atta and the 18 hijackers removed. Strangely enough. Then you lie about it to cover yourself. That's low, pathetic, and sick of you. You know what you did to manipulate things. Nelly Akbar also knows that. Looking at your removed comments, that as a coward you removed show your true color. I'm done with you. What a shame. If I deleted a comment, it's only because I felt my grammar was confusing and I wanted to make it sound better. I noticed that you removed a comment first, and you accused me of what you did first. I mean, hey, why the double standard? Anyone can see this thread and see who removed comments first for themselves, can they not? Oh, by the way, you got my curiosity up over what you accused me of deleting. Guess what? I undeleted them. When you read what I undeleted, you will see me talking about Atta and 9/11 first, or will you see it first or not? If you undeleted what you deleted, what would we see? I'm just wondering. Oh, I see that you have undeleted your comment. So okay, and guess what is revealed when it is undeleted? It shows that you brought up 9/11 before I did. Yet you accuse me of not bringing up. Yet you accuse me of not only bringing it up first, but then accuse me of doing something shady with my deleting of comments. Well, I deleted my comments. I still think I have something to hide. Oh, and another thing. Where have I lied? Can you respond without forming Al-Taqiyya? He doesn't respond. Another time. It also says to not kill those who know not, unquote, or who are, quote, without knowledge. But the big question that's never answered is, what if they do know and are with knowledge, and instead of wanting to hear the Quran, want to hear the, quote, before scriptures, unquote, the Injil? What if they want to hear those instead? Are they still given, quote, safe passage? Well, I can see why kids, women, elderly, animals, and plants aren't killed in Islam. The elderly will die, and the others can be used. If we are attacked in self-defense, or to fight oppression and injustice, you can see whatever is convenient for you to see. This is not of me to show you. God guides whomever He wishes, and He blinds whomever He wishes. And the 45 British Islamic medical doctors who tried to destroy 2 Scottish airports in 2007 probably thought they were fighting injustice, or were they misinterpreting something in Islam? It all depends on what you feel is injustice to Allah, doesn't it? But if it is true that Allah guides and blinds, that I'm quite aware of, it also says, quote, although I'm not 100% on here, it says that whom Allah leads off the right path, none can guide him back onto it. I wonder why, especially if there is eternal hell. Yes, in the Quran it says, whom Allah guides, none can misguide, and whom Allah misguides, none can guide. This simply means that everything is in Allah's hand. Of course, God knows what's in your heart and your intention, and if He knows that you will never be guided, then you won't. As of us, He created us with free choice and a brain. We should pray that He blesses us with guidance. But if we reject the truth, like what you are doing now, then you'll never be guided. You seem to be confusing what Allah knows with who Allah guides. Well, don't feel bad. When discussing predestination and free will, Christians seem to end up doing the same thing, especially if they believe in eternal punishment or torment. He doesn't respond. Another time. If Muslims didn't bring up I tell you what, if Muslims didn't bring down the Twin Towers, and secular Muslims did, like you say, well, why would secular Muslims kill themselves to make Islam look bad and evil, and make Bush out a liar for when he later say Islam is a peaceful religion? How come? He doesn't respond. Of course, there was an earthquake in Turkey a few years ago, and many multi-storied buildings went down in their, quote, footprint, unquote, as well. It wasn't a fan of Bush either. And you know something? I wasn't a fan of Bush either. It is stupid to lie in this day and age of information. That is for sure. The thing is, when I question Muslim scholars about Islam, they usually call me a liar, a racist, a hater, someone who, quote, knows nothing about Islam, unquote, and you want to know something? I'm none of those, which makes me think they are performing al-taqiyya. That is, they are putting into effect war is deceit, and are, well, lying. So far, you haven't really done that. Just claim that I said you were performing taqiyya, when clearly I hadn't yet. If you lie to prevent enmity between friends, then it's okay. And if you lie to prevent divorce, or to save life, it's okay. This is common sense. I don't think a religion will tell you never to lie, even if by lying you would save your life or another life. It's a simple common sense, but Islam basher use her. But Islam basher use it to make Islam appear like a false religion, and you're exploiting it as well. Taqiyya might be used by some Shia and abused, but in general, it's a common sense to lie. It's common sense to lie if you are saving a life. But when in Islam are you supposed to tell the truth? As I said, there are only three instances when a person can lie. So obviously, all other instances are truth. The truth is to be told.
And when is that?
In Islam, lying will get you in hell. Seriously. A liar will not enter paradise except for God's mercy. However, God knows what's in your heart. And if you lie to save your life, God will forgive you. In Islam, you will always say the truth. It's mentioned many times in the Quran. It's a basic thing.
And you have to lie.
And I believe there are scriptures in Islam to tell you to have you tell the truth. But then you have Muhammad saying war is deceit, and you have Quran 3:28, where you can't take non-believers as friends or helpers unless you don't really mean it, or you're cut off from Allah if you do. And there is Quran 61:06, where you can keep from becoming like noble by law by denying Allah if you don't really mean to deny Allah.